How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffled Rowlett, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. So today, we're going to be going through some news that I didn't manage to cover yesterday, and the reason I I wasn't able to do that was because, essentially, I was working on a Pokemon animation. So I'm working on a Pokemon animation series, which has taken up a lot of time, but hopefully you guys will enjoy the animations when they are finished, because I shared this info that I'm working on animations, and I kind of want to do some a while back on a previous video, and I asked you guys, hey, do you want to see me do this animation series? And make more of this, and you guys said yes, we want to see more of that. Make a full episode, make a full series out of it. So I was like, okay, sure, I'll do it. So I've spent the last few hours, days essentially doing that, and I've just kind of had scheduled videos going up, so I haven't really been able to make videos about many news happening. It's kind of just jump in when I can, but there has been some news that happened yesterday and the day before that, I think, which I was unable to cover, but I thought it'd be fun to cover it now. And also rumors. There has been a major rumor from an individual that actually is on my Discord, so I'm not sure if I should really trust him, or if you guys should really trust him, or what he says, but I'll read through the info that he's sharing and see what it's all about. So either way, let's get started with the things that are on the screen right here. So you can see Pokemon 2019 release date refined from second half of 2019 to late 2019. So yeah, this came out, and it was basically like a change to when the game is going to be released. Well, I mean, it could be that it's not even that, but let's actually just jump over to the actual post here on My Nintendo News. So we'll jump over to it, and you can see right here, same title, Pokemon 2019 release date refined from second half of 2019 to late 2019, and then it actually goes into the information down here. But by the way, check out My Nintendo News. They post all this stuff. If you want to get some Pokemon information, that sort of stuff, they always have it. And also other Nintendo games and that sort of stuff. You can see they have tons of stuff, and actually there you go, there's a post. But either way, they go through the info here and say Pokemon fan site Cerebi has noticed that the long-awaited core Pokemon title that's due to be released on the Nintendo Switch has had its release window slightly changed. Pokemon 2019 was originally scheduled for the second half of 2019, but today it's been revealed that it's now scheduled for late 2019. Sounds as though it will be a winter title. Well, obviously, I mean, I thought it was kind of an obvious one that we're going to see Pokemon 2019 in, like, November. Because they always do that, right? It's become, like, a habit now of, Game Freak to release, or Nintendo to release Pokemon games at specifically that time of the year, which would be... Also, by the way, sorry about any background noise. There's literally, like, just trucks driving by here. But it's kind of an obvious one, because the last, like, 4 entries into the Pokemon, the Pokemon brand when it comes to the Pokemon main series games have been released in November. I mean, even Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee are being released in November. So changing it from, like, second half of 2019 makes sense, because second half means anything from now until, December. That's second half of 2019. That's anything from August to December. That's the second half of the year. The first half of the year is anything from January to, like, July, I think, or June, actually, unless I'm getting this wrong. No, like, June, July, you get the point, but it's besides, like, the actual point I want to make, though. My point is, it could have been anything from August, September, October, November, December, right? But now it's kind of guaranteed it's going to happen in November. And if not November, then December. Who knows? Because we're seeing, like, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate being released in December this year, which means that even Pokemon could potentially be moved to a December title to sell more because of, it's the season, it's thy season for gifts and giving and all that stuff. You get the point. But either way, they go through the info here, and, you can see it's very straightforward. Why they did this, because it probably, like, it could be either 3 different things, right? 1, development issues. They're having development issues and they need more time, which I think is the least likely one. 2, they needed to change it because maybe it fits better to have it at a later time during the year, because maybe in August and September, October, they have other games they want to release, and they don't want Pokemon to, chop off the sales there. So maybe they just want Pokemon to have its own, like, release area and release window, so it's the main Pokemon, main focus of people's attention when they buy Nintendo titles. Could be that. Or option number 3, literally, it was always supposed to be late 2019, but they said second half of 2019 because that's just what sounded better. But in the actual, documents, which this information, by the way, came specifically from, I think the, what's it called again? I think this guy actually goes into it, but it comes from the, what's this word again? I can't remember what the word is for, like, not the press release, but, like, the information, the investors meeting. Thank you. There we go. I said thank you to myself. Either way, it came from the investors meeting. So I assume, based on the fact that it came from that investors meeting, that, it could be that they just originally, it was supposed to always be late 2019, or it still means, like, it could still be, second half of 2019, but, like, because, like, this is the better representation of it, and this is the better like, visual representation for the investors, it makes more sense. You want to give them a more precise area. So late 2019 makes sense. For example, fitness boxing this winter, right? Makes sense. This winter, which means November, December, etc. You know what I mean? Even January, potentially. January, February works as well. But either way, that's besides the point. Where are we now? So, okay, that's that info. Pretty much done. Now, the next up is actually an individual that is actually been on my Discord and apparently has some inside information. I'm going to read through what he has to say right here real quick. It's a pretty long, I'll tell you, a pretty long set of, like, rumors, so I'll go through it quickly. It's been a while since I've reported rumors myself. Nothing really interesting or ambitious lately when it comes to rumors, in my opinion. However, I've been in contact with a second-hand source for weeks now, and there's some interesting things to share. Everything I was told is in regards to Nintendo's plans for 2019-2020, specifically their hardware plans. I'll be sharing what I know so far and share my personal thoughts at the end. Nintendo is planning to release 3 hardware products for the next 2 years. A new Switch iteration, a 3DS successor, and a new Classic Edition console. I'll start with the Switch. This new Switch iteration is an upgraded, more enhanced variant of the console when it comes to system power, much like the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X. There's no official name to this yet, but for now let's call it Switch Pro. It's designed mainly for core gamers in mind who want more rich, enhanced experience for the Switch, not only at home but also on the road. Dev kits for the variant were sent to select third-party publishers back in January. Specs for the dev kits, as far as I know, have newer Tegra chipsets with a Fascal architecture and more RAM. The retail version of the Switch Pro may be similar. They probably would have changed the Tegra because, like, I don't know if you guys know this, but the Tegra chip that's inside from NVIDIA, that's inside the Switch, is actually the reason that it's been able to be hacked so easily, because that it's got like it's got a fatal flaw in it that the hackers have been, or, like, people who mod these consoles have been able to actually exploit, and it's a pretty easy exploit, actually. So, the retail version of the Switch Pro may be similar to the dev kits, but will have much less RAM. The dev kits will have a 12 to 16 gig RAM, but the retail version will only have 6 to 8 gig RAM. Well, that seems okay. As for the rest of the system, well, there's some hardware issues. The main issue being heat, which is overheating the Switch insanely. Nintendo has apparently reached out to consulting services for fixing the issues. Those consulting services are actually Microsoft services themselves, which, I don't trust you there, man. That's just bullshit right there. I'm sorry, but that's just bullshit. I don't trust that. Why would they be reaching out to Microsoft of all things? Why? This makes no sense, right? Because this makes no sense. It makes sense if they were hitting up, like, if they were specifically hitting up, like, NVIDIA or those smaller companies, right? That would make sense. But why would you hit up Microsoft? That has nothing to do with them. Like, this makes no sense. Because they don't, I don't think they would be giving you consulting on this sort of shit. Okay, they reached out to Microsoft since they believe that they have a lot of technical knowledge when it comes to the hardware repairs, but also their relationship recently when it comes to crossplay, i.e. Minecraft. They also, now it makes slightly more sense. Okay. They also believe Microsoft has a lot of knowledge when it comes to online game, thus they have partnered with Ninty to be involved with the Switch paid online service. What Microsoft is doing with Ninty, I'm not entirely sure, but it's interesting nonetheless. Yeah, I don't trust that, sorry, but that just seems bullshit to me. Like, connectivity between, like, the platforms, sure, between games like Fortnite, sure, I get it, but I don't trust this. Either way, they also believe Microsoft, that's about it as far as the Switch Pro goes, except for the new variant to release sometime in 2019. I wouldn't be surprised if we get an announcement later this year, depending on when in 2019 it will release. Now comes this 3DS successor. There's a ton of, not a ton I know regarding to the new system. I don't know the exact reasons why Nintendo is making this thing in the first place, but here's what Ninty is cooking supposedly. Okay. The design looks like an iPhone, pre-iPhone X design, based on the prototype the source has seen. Their goal with the system is to make something that is affordable, target a younger demographic, and to have a new brand entirely separate from DS and Switch brands. As far as games go, there's only one, I think, that's coming. The source claimed to have gone hands-on with Animal Crossing game on the system's prototype, though it's unknown if it's real game being released or just a tech demo. Here's when things get interesting. The handheld will have compatibility with Nintendo's mobile titles. even ones releasing in the future. And the handheld will some of the functionality. It will have some of the functionalities of a mobile phone. This makes no sense. One might assume that this is a gaming smartphone Nintendo is developing. To be honest, I believe that's the case, although it's too early to tell if that's the actual concept the device is going for. Speaking of concept, I'll have some interesting new concept, or it will have some new interesting concept or gimmick to the device. It will like most other Nintendo consoles of yesteryear, I'm not sure what the gimmick is exactly, but they are going for something ambitious, it seems. Now, I've got to be honest. Nintendo have always loved making handhelds, right? It's like their bread and butter, essentially, when you think about it. Like, that's where they make lots of their mula, because the handhelds sell like butter, and they're also some of the best handhelds. Like, you never see PSP or PlayStation ever competing with them. Xbox don't even try to make a handheld. I mean, it's just like, it's an area that they dominate, and they're trying to make another handheld right now when you have the Switch. To me personally, like, if they can pull it off and it can be like this side console, that's like, still there and you can potentially have some cool games on it, sure. I mean, I get it. If it's powerful enough, I'll take it. But, I mean, we already have the Switch, and I do say, though, I will have to say, though, the Switch is kind of sometimes a little, it's not super heavy. I won't say it's, like, ridiculously heavy. It is a little bit heavy, though, and, it's kind of hard to carry around, like, you would carry around a phone. So, I could imagine a phone size, or like an iPhone X sized new device that's handheld, kind of like a phone, would make sense. I guess it kind of would make sense for Nintendo to pull that off, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Now, Nintendo is apparently keeping handheld much more secret than the Switch when it comes to actually revealing the thing, although I think they were already being pretty tight-lipped with the Switch as well. The new console won't be releasing until something in 2020. Okay, so yeah, I think most of the information, because I've gone through some of this, what the next class edition is, I'd rather not say. Though there's Pokemon games on it, I know this sounds vague, but speculate all you want, but that's about as far as the future Nintendo hardware goes. So, you go through some other information here. I'll link this down below, by the way, as well, guys, if you want to look into this information on your own. I'll link it all down below so you guys can check it out and read through all this stuff here, because there's a lot of stuff, and I thought I just want to, make this a bit of a shorter video. But either way, that's going to be the, it for this video, guys. I will be actually saying one thing. I'm working on this animation, guys, and if you do want to see this animation, let me know in the comments down below if you want me to post it, because I've been working my ass off, but I still need to do, like, voice lines and all that stuff. There's a lot of things to do, basically. Like, let me just tell you, there's a lot of work needed. But I want to ask you guys if you want to see that. If you do, then, give me a heads up, let me know, because I really want to make this happen. So, either way, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I'll see you all the next time. Have a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.